There are moments in life when your heart aches with questions, when you look around and wonder why doors seem closed, why opportunities seem distant, and why others seem to find their way while you wait. But I want to tell you something deep from the heart today. God has already chosen your door. You don't have to worry. You don't have to lose sleep at night wondering if you missed it. You don't have to be anxious thinking somehow you are falling behind. God, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, knows exactly which door belongs to you. You see, before the foundations of the world were laid, He had already written your story. Every chapter, every step, every moment, carefully planned with a love that is deeper than oceans and a knowledge that is greater than any mind could comprehend. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are not forgotten. You are not lost, even when you feel like you're standing still, even when it feels like nothing is moving. Heaven is at work behind the scenes. Doors are being built. Opportunities are being prepared. Your future is unfolding in ways you can't even begin to imagine. We live in a world that tells us we have to strive, hustle, and fight to make things happen. But God's way is different. His way says, be still and know that I am God. His way says, trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. His way says, I have plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. God's timing is not our timing. His pace is not our pace. And while it might feel slow to you, it's right on schedule in the kingdom of heaven. Every closed door you've encountered was not a punishment, it was protection. Every detour was not a mistake, it was divine direction. Sometimes God closes doors because what's behind them would harm you. Sometimes He says no because He has a better yes waiting for you. And sometimes He asks you to wait because He's building something so magnificent, so life-changing that it takes time to prepare. We think delays mean denial, but in God's hands, a delay is often an announcement that something greater is on the way. When the door finally opens, you will see why it took so long. You will see why the other doors had to remain closed. You will realize that the disappointments were actually His mercy disguised. What God has for you is so specific, so tailored to who you are and who you are becoming, that no one else can walk through that door but you. No one else can take your place. No one else can wear your crown. You might be looking around, comparing your life to others, thinking you are behind. But remember this, comparison is a liar. God isn't measuring you against anyone else. He isn't checking to see if you're ahead or behind. His plan for your life is unique. His door for you will open when the time is perfect. And when it opens, it will be better than anything you tried to force on your own. Some of you are knocking on doors that God already closed. You are pleading for relationships He removed. You are chasing dreams He asked you to surrender. And it's breaking your heart because you think that was your only chance. But hear me today. If it had been your door, it would have stayed open. If it had been your blessing, you wouldn't have had to beg for it. God doesn't play games with His children. He doesn't tease you with hope only to leave you empty. Every no you have received was to protect the yes that is coming. Every heartbreak was to prepare your heart for the joy that is ahead. You don't have to manipulate, control, or force anything in your life. What God has ordained for you is preserved by His power. What He has prepared for you has your name on it, and it will not pass you by. No enemy can steal it, no mistake can cancel it, no delay can destroy it. Trust the hand that is guiding you even when you don't understand the path. Trust the heart that loves you too much to let you settle for less than His best. Some doors you thought you wanted would have led you into pain and confusion. Some opportunities you cried over would have taken you off your divine path. What looks like a setback is often a setup for something greater. God's no is as much a blessing as His yes. His closed doors are just as much an act of love as His open ones. You are chosen. You are called. You are set apart. And the one who called you is faithful to finish what he started in you. He is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should change his mind. If he said he has a door for you, then you can rest in the truth that it is already yours. Stop looking back with regret. Stop wishing you could go back and change things. God's plans are not ruined because of your mistakes. His purpose for your life is not fragile. It is not dependent on your perfection. It is anchored in His grace. Even your detours, even your failures, even your wrong turns are woven into the masterpiece He is creating. Your responsibility is not to find the door, force the door, or fabricate the door. Your responsibility is simply to stay faithful. Keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting, keep obeying. The door will find you when you are ready to walk through it, and when you walk through it, you'll realize that everything you went through prepared you for that moment. When God opens your door, it won't be something you can take credit for. It will be clear that it was His hand, His favor, His power at work. People will look at your life and know that it was God who did it. And you will testify not about how great you were, but about how faithful He is. You don't have to worry about the door that belongs to you. It is secure, it is safe, and it is being prepared even now. Heaven is orchestrating conversations, aligning opportunities, shifting circumstances in your favor. Angels are moving on your behalf. Resources are being gathered. People you haven't even met yet are being prepared to bless you, to open doors for you, to walk with you into the destiny God has for you. It might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow, but in the fullness of time, it will happen. And when it does, you'll look back and understand why the wait was necessary. You'll see that God was not being cruel. He was being careful. He wasn't denying you. He was developing you. He wasn't ignoring you. He was investing in you. Don't let the silence make you think He's absent. Don't let the waiting make you think He's forgotten. He is nearer than you realize, closer than you think, more invested in your future than you could ever imagine. He is working all things together for your good, even the things you don't understand right now. You are standing on the edge of something greater than you have ever known. You are closer to your breakthrough than you have ever been. The door that God has chosen for you is not just an opportunity, it is a divine assignment. It's not just about a blessing for you, it's about making you a blessing to others. It's about using your life to testify of His goodness, His mercy, His love. So lift up your head. Strengthen your feeble knees. Stand firm in your faith. Let hope rise again in your heart. Let expectation fill your spirit. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not late. You are right on schedule for the door God has prepared for you. And when that door opens, walk through it with boldness. Walk through it with gratitude. Walk through it knowing that it was never about your strength. It was always about His grace. Walk through it with the confidence that the same God who opened the door will sustain you on the other side. You may not know the way, but you know the one who is the way. You may not see the plan, but you know the one who holds the plan. You may not feel ready, but God has been getting you ready all along. Trust Him, lean into Him, rest in Him. Before you ever took your first breath, before you ever spoke your first word, before you ever dreamed your first dream, God had already chosen the door for you. Long before you knew what you would need, He had already provided. Long before you knew what you would face, He had already made a way through it. You are not stumbling through life by accident. You are not racing against some invisible clock, trying to earn your way into blessings. The door that is meant for you has been marked by the hands of the Almighty Himself, and no force on earth can steal it from you. No enemy can block it. No mistake you make can disqualify you from it. What God has for you is reserved with your name written upon it, and it is being protected by His mighty power. You don't have to strive. You don't have to manipulate your way forward. You don't have to stress yourself into exhaustion trying to open doors that aren't yours. In a world that says you have to hustle harder, fight more, and constantly prove yourself, God's message is different. His message is peace. His message is trust. His message is assurance that you are already chosen, already seen, already prepared for the door He has ordained. The striving that this world demands only leads to anxiety and burnout, but the trust that God asks for leads to rest and strength. He isn't asking you to manufacture miracles. He is asking you to believe that He is working even when you can't see it. You might feel like you're behind. You might look at others who seem to be ahead, wondering if somehow you missed your chance. But you cannot miss what God has marked as yours. He does not operate on the timelines of men. He is not worried about deadlines, detours, or delays. His plan for you is bigger than your mistakes and stronger than your fears. Every season of waiting is building your character. Every closed door is increasing your discernment. Every no is setting you up for the perfect yes. You don't have to be afraid of missing out. You don't have to run yourself ragged trying to force things to happen. God's door for you is not fragile. It cannot be stolen and it cannot be broken. There is a peace that comes when you understand that your destiny is in the hands of a faithful God. There is a strength that rises up in you when you realize you are not fighting alone to carve out your future. The door God has chosen is already on its way to you, or you are already on your way to it, and at the right time they will meet. Until then, walk by faith, not by sight. Trust the process, even when it feels slow. Believe in His promises, even when they seem distant. Your door is not something you have to chase. It is something you will walk into by the leading of His Spirit. So lift your head, wipe away your fear, and stand in confidence. What's yours is already secured by the one who holds all things together, and nothing can stop His hand from moving in your life. There are times when a door closes so abruptly in your life that you are left standing there in confusion, heartache, and even anger. You wonder why something you wanted so badly slipped through your fingers. You question what went wrong. You replay every moment, every prayer, every effort, trying to find where you could have done something differently. But what you must understand deep in your spirit is that when God closes a door, it is never to harm you. It is to protect you. It is to shield you from paths that would have led you away from His best. It is to keep you from walking into places that would have delayed your destiny or destroyed your purpose. Every closed door, no matter how painful it felt at the moment, was an act of divine mercy. You see, God sees the end from the beginning. He knows where every path leads. He knows what's behind every opportunity that looks good on the surface, but carries hidden dangers beneath. He knows what relationships would have wounded you beyond what you could bear. He knows what dreams would have trapped you instead of freeing you. His perspective is higher. His knowledge is perfect. And because He loves you with a fierce, everlasting love, He will not let you settle for something that is beneath His calling for you. Sometimes the closed door feels like rejection, but in heaven's eyes, it's redirection. Sometimes the door that slammed in your face was never meant to be opened in the first place, and God in His grace did for you what you could not do for yourself. He stopped you before you gave your heart away to something that could not sustain you. He redirected your steps before you built your life on a shaky foundation. He closed the door because He wants to open a better one that leads to abundance, not just survival, one that leads to purpose, not just comfort, one that draws you closer to Him instead of pulling you away. The pain you feel when a door closes is real, but don't let that pain blind you to the protection that is also present. Don't let the temporary sting cause you to miss the eternal safety God is providing. Trust Him enough to believe that He sees what you cannot see. Trust Him enough to know that His no is always wrapped in His greater yes. Trust Him enough to understand that your destiny is too precious to be left to chance. Every time you face a closed door, instead of mourning what you lost, start praising God for what He's saving you from. Start thanking Him for the danger He removed from your path. Start rejoicing that He loves you enough to say no when no is what you need most. Closed doors are not punishments, they are shields. They are gates of mercy standing between you and what was never meant to be yours. One day you will look back and see the beauty in every door that didn't open. You will see the hand of God guarding you, guiding you, and preserving you. And you will understand that every closed door was a powerful yes to your future, your calling, and your destiny. Waiting is one of the hardest things you will ever be called to do. It tests your patience, your faith, and sometimes even your identity. When prayers seem unanswered and dreams feel distant, it's easy to believe that the delay is a denial, that maybe God has forgotten you, or that maybe you missed your moment. But the truth is, in the kingdom of God, delays are never denials. Waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. They are sacred spaces where God is doing His deepest work within you and around you. While you are waiting, God is preparing your heart, preparing the opportunity, and preparing the people who will be connected to your destiny. God uses the waiting to strengthen what rushing would destroy. If He gave you everything you prayed for instantly, it would overwhelm you, not bless you. There are things God has promised you that require a version of you that is still being formed. There are doors He will open that demand a deeper maturity, a stronger character, a wiser spirit. The delay is not because God is withholding good from you. It's because He is setting you up for something greater than you can currently see or comprehend. He's aligning details you aren't even aware of. He's orchestrating connections that haven't yet been revealed. He's moving behind the scenes, arranging your life according to His perfect timing. When you are in a waiting season, it feels like nothing is happening. But in the unseen realm, everything is happening. Heaven is busy on your behalf. Your prayers are not falling on deaf ears. Your tears are not being ignored. Your faithfulness is not being overlooked. Every act of obedience, every moment of trust, every step of faith is preparing the soil for a harvest bigger than you can imagine. What looks like silence is actually strategy. What feels like stillness is actually sacred movement orchestrated by the hand of God. The danger during the delay is that you might grow weary. You might be tempted to settle for something less than God's best. You might be tempted to lower your standards, to move ahead without His blessing, to force doors open by your own strength. But that would only delay you further. When you move ahead of God, you place yourself outside of His covering. But when you stay in step with Him, even in the frustration of waiting, you position yourself to receive all that He has promised in the fullness of His time. The waiting season requires faith that looks beyond what you can feel. It demands a trust that refuses to be shaken by circumstances. It calls you to believe that if God said it, He will do it, not on your schedule, but on His. And when the appointed time comes, what He brings will be worth every second you waited. It will be greater, sweeter, richer, and more glorious than anything you could have manufactured on your own. One day soon, the very thing you are waiting for will come rushing into your life, and you will see that every moment of delay was filled with divine purpose. You will realize that God wasn't withholding a blessing. He was building a foundation strong enough to hold it. And when it finally arrives, you will give Him all the glory because you will know it was never a denial. It was always a preparation for something greater. There is a powerful peace that comes when you finally understand that you cannot miss what God has ordained for your life. You may stumble, you may fall, you may take wrong turns, but none of it has the power to cancel the destiny that God has spoken over you. His plans are not fragile. His promises are not dependent on your perfection. The calling on your life is rooted in His grace, not your performance. Even when you feel like you've wandered too far, failed too deeply, or messed up too badly, God's hand is still strong enough to lead you back. His purpose for you is not derailed by your mistakes. It is woven through them, using even your failures to prepare you for the fullness of what He has in store. Sometimes life takes you on unexpected paths. You find yourself in places you never intended to be, wondering if you forfeited the blessings God had prepared. But nothing surprises God. Before you ever took a detour, He already mapped out the way back. Before you ever made a wrong choice, He had already planned the redemption. Your journey is not a straight line, but a divine story filled with grace at every turn. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment can be used by God to deepen your character, to refine your purpose, and to prepare you for the doors He has destined to open. You might look at your life and see brokenness, but God sees building blocks. You might see lost time, but God sees lessons learned. You might see failure, but God sees foundations being laid for future victories. What you thought disqualified you may be the very thing God uses to qualify you for the greater work He has ahead. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are signs of survival. They are proof that you are still in the story, that God's grace is still active, and that His promises are still alive over your life. There's no detour too long, no failure too deep, no sin too great that can erase the promises of God. His word does not return void. What He has ordained for you will find you. The right opportunity, the right relationship, the right door, all of it will come to you in His perfect timing. It won't be because you forced it. It won't be because you earned it. It will be because His mercy carried you. His love sustained you, and His faithfulness fulfilled what He spoke over you long before you knew how much you would need Him. Your mistakes do not have the final say. God does. Your failures are not the end of your story. His promises are, so stop living in regret. Stop carrying the burden of trying to fix what only God can redeem. Trust that His hand is still on you, His purpose is still for you, and His favor is still going ahead of you. You have not missed your moment. You have not lost your calling. The destiny God has for you is still alive, still active, and still unfolding. You can rest in the assurance that you cannot miss what God has already ordained. What is yours will find you, and when it does, it will be clear that it was His hand all along guiding you exactly where you were always meant to be. Worry is the heavy burden that many carry, weighing down the heart and clouding the mind. It creeps in quietly at first, then builds until it feels overwhelming, stealing your peace and draining your strength. It whispers doubts about the future, about your worth, about whether God truly hears your prayers. But while worry pulls you into fear, trust lifts you into freedom. God never called you to live a life of anxiety and fear. He calls you to trust deeply in His perfect timing and sovereign plan. Even when you don't understand what He's doing, even when the path ahead looks uncertain, He asks you to rest in the knowledge that He is in complete control. Trust does not mean that you will always have all the answers. It does not mean that the road will be free of obstacles. Trust means choosing to believe that God's heart for you is good, even when your circumstances are confusing. It means placing your faith not in what you see, but in who He is. It is saying, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know that you are faithful, and that is enough for me. It is believing that His ways are higher than yours, and His thoughts are deeper than anything you could comprehend. When you choose trust over worry, you are making a powerful declaration that you are not your own provider, God is. You are not your own protector, God is. You are not the one who holds the future, God is. Trust shifts your focus from what you lack to what He has promised. It moves you from panic to praise. It realigns your heart with His will and opens the door for His peace to rule over your life. There will be moments when your faith is tested, when worry knocks loudly at your door. In those moments, you have a choice. You can surrender to fear, or you can stand firm in faith. Trust is not passive, it is active. It is the daily decision to cast your cares upon Him because you know He cares for you. It is the discipline of speaking His promises over your life when your mind is tempted to race through worst-case scenarios. It is the courage to be still and know that He is God. even when everything inside of you wants to run ahead. God has never failed you, and He will not start now. Every time you trusted Him in the past, He came through. Maybe not in the way you expected, but always in the way that was best. That same faithfulness covers your future. You do not have to carry the burden of figuring everything out. You do not have to strain and strive to make things happen. Your role is to trust, and His role is to move. Lay down your worry today. Lay down the endless questions, the sleepless nights, the restless thoughts. Replace them with trust. Fierce, unshakable trust in the one who knows the end from the beginning. Trust that He is working behind the scenes. Trust that He is aligning every detail. Trust that His plan is better than anything you could create on your own. And trust that when it is time, when the moment is right, everything will come together in a way so beautiful, so complete, that you will look back and say, it was worth it to trust Him all along. There is coming a moment when the door God has prepared for you will swing wide open, and it will